Hi, I'm Dr. Patrick Jones, and this is Beyond the Feature, a podcast where we turn technology budgets into business value by fixing workflows, not collecting features. If you've been with me so far, you can probably hum out our theme song. Behavior lives where work happens, defaults are destiny, rituals beat reminders, decisions need a trace, measurement should be in plain English, and social proof changes faster than policy. Well, today, I want to talk about the idea that saves teams from blaming people when the system is what's broken. So, friction is a signal, not a failure. When a new workflow feels hard, it's your process raising its hand and saying, hey, this part needs a nudge. Before we pile on more training, more reminders, or my personal favorite, a new dashboard we won't look at, let's ask a calmer question. Why does this feel hard? Because if the riverbed is wrong, shouting at the water won't help. You've heard the soundtrack of friction. I can't find the team space. My link didn't work for them. Who approves this? And of course, I know we said no attachments, but I was in a hurry. We hear them all the time. So that chorus is not evidence that your people don't care. It's evidence that your system is noisy. Extra clicks, unclear paths, permission puzzles, decisions with no obvious home. These are the tiny taxes your workflow is charging every day. If we treat those taxes like personal shortcomings, adoption stalls. If we treat them like signals, adoption speeds up because we fix what's actually in the way. Let me go right at the reflex we all have, me included, when something isn't sticking. Just train them more. I get it. Training feels productive. I literally write books about skills. I run courses. I have little 2-minute YouTube clips that teach one move at a time. But here's the line I try to live by. Training can't fix a design flaw. If the shared space is 4 folders deep with a name only an auditor could love, another video won't make it closer. If your link defaults are mismatched to reality, a longer webinar won't make them friendlier. And if the approval path is invisible, a quiz won't make it appear. Training is for skills. Friction is a design problem. Fix the design, then teach the new, smoother path. That's when the Microsoft 365 Companion Series or the Olympus Academy lessons, they turn into accelerators instead of crutches. So grab the quick how once the where and when makes sense. Let me tell you a small story I called the hallway test. A team had a beautiful framework on paper, right? Links, not attachments, a living team space, decisions at the top of the document. In practice, they were still emailing files. I asked for 5 minutes. I stood behind a project manager and said, show me where this work lives. Click, click, search, back button, new window. It's in here somewhere. That wasn't a failure of character. It was a failure of findability. The space was buried. The name read like a tax form. The start here file was nowhere near here. So we changed 2 things. We renamed the space in human language and pinned a document called Start Here to the top of the Teams channel. That was it. Same people, same goals, less friction. The habit finally stuck, and the training we did after that actually landed because the path now matched the skill. So when friction shows up, I like to slow the room down and ask 3 quiet questions. No PowerPoint required here, right? Where does this work live by default? If the answer is email, bingo, friction guaranteed. Put the work in one visible place and label it like a human. When does the problem occur? 10 minutes before a meeting usually means your link defaults are fighting. Handoff chaos means the approval path is unclear. And who owns the next step? If that person is fuzzy, your ritual is missing. Those questions point at the workflow design, not at who needs more training. The featured checklist is not the diagnosis. The moment of struggle is. Let me translate a few common complaints so you can hear what they're really saying. I can't find it. Translation: your shared space isn't obvious. Rename it. Pin the living docs. Put start here where the next click already is. Make the right thing the first thing you see. I shared the link, but they couldn't open it. Translation: your link defaults are mismatched with your audience. Set the right default for 80% of cases and teach the exception. Don't make the exception the norm. Who signs off? Translation: your decision path is invisible. And a one-line decision header at the top of the document, and @mention the approver in the open. Put the decision where future you will look. When you fix the design, you'll be shocked at how little training you need. And the training you do deliver, maybe a 2-minute training, maybe it's reading one of the companion series books, an Olympus Academy clip, that'll actually stick because it's attached to the path that makes sense. Here's the psychology underneath that, right? Without all the jargon. Humans conserve energy. We're lazy. When a new workflow costs more clicks, we're hunting, and more social risk, your brain quietly defects to the old way. That isn't defiance, that's physics. Friction beats intention every time. Your job isn't to turn up motivation, it's to turn down the friction, so the right path is the easy path. We did that with defaults. We made it automatic with rituals. Today, we're using the same lens to redesign the parts that snag. You'll also hear objections. And they're fair. People should try harder. They are. They're doing the best they can. They're also busy. If the system makes the right thing hard, the system is wrong. Let's fix the path so their effort pays off. We can't change every setting. You don't have to. A friendly name, a pinned document, a single sentence at the top of the template, those are design changes too. Save the big switches for later. And here's my favorite. Won't this take longer than a refresher training? It actually takes less time than repeating the same training every quarter. Fix it once, teach it once, enjoy the compounding returns. If you want a simple way to diagnose where to nudge, remember our 5-part model. We have the trigger, then the shared space, a short ritual, the decision, and then the trace. When something hurts, walk that chain. If people can't find the work, then it's shared space. If the meetings drift, it's the short ritual. If approvals evaporate, it's decision and trace. If the first step is murky, it's trigger. Tune the right link in the chain, then hand out the smallest supporting skill. A companion series book that talks about what you're looking for, a micro lesson, a YouTube video short. With me, a lot of times it's just a Teams chat. I'll get hit up a lot of times, and it's just a quick, hey, question that I can answer. It's 2 minutes of how after 5 minutes of why. And that beats 5 hours of what. One more quick story. Another team kept stumbling in approval. They'd co-author beautifully, then spend days waiting because nobody knew who had the pen. The fix wasn't more training on approvals. The fix was a 2-line ritual, owner approver, and date at the top of the document, and a social proof move. The director wrote the decision on screen at the end of the meeting in the document. After that, approvals stopped evaporating. We did a 2-minute refresher on @mentions for the folks who needed it. Friction dropped. Progress rose. Same tools, different design. So what do you do in the moment when someone says, this is hard? Try this little script. Great, thank you. Let's find out why. Show me where you were when it got difficult. Then let them click. You watch. Okay, it's 3 clicks deep. Let's pin it and rename the space. Or, looks like the link default isn't right for your team. Let's see the better default and teach the exception. Or, we don't have a visible approver. Let's add a decision line up at the top. And then, only then, share the smallest skill refresher that supports the smoother path. 2 minutes, not 20. That's where the books, the courses, the quick clips, the texts, the chats, those shine. Because the ingredients on demand after the kitchen setup is right. You'll know you're winning when the temperature in the room drops. People stop apologizing and start moving. Can I just attach? Turns into dropping the link here. Who approves? Turns into at Priya, you're up. Meetings end with a sentence you can point to instead of a promise to follow up. You didn't change people, you changed the path. And when you go to measure, as we talked about back in episode 6, you'll feel it in plain English. Meetings are shorter and clearer. There's fewer access and version interruptions. Decisions are findable fast. The numbers will come, but the vibe arrives first. All right, let's land this. Friction is a signal, not a failure. It's your workflow telling you where the design needs a nudge. Make the shared space obvious. Align the link with the default with the reality. Put the approver where eyes land. Then teach the smoother move. That's how technology stops being a scavenger hunt and starts being a flow. That's how my 365 companion series, the Olympus Academy lessons, all that, they do their best work, supporting a design that's already friendly. All right, so next time we're going to zoom out a little bit and we're going to talk about speed and safety together, how to move faster without getting sloppy, and the tiny cues that keep quality and risk aligned while you scale these habits. Until then, remember, features are the ingredients, workflows are the recipe, and friction is just the kitchen timer telling you what needs attention. Listen to it, fix it, then keep cooking.